with Derek, you know what you're going to get. And I think when fighters always talk about going out on their shield, he came out in the 12th round to try and win the fight by knockout, full well knowing that he could get carried out. But he's, you know, a lot of fighters say, "Oh, I don't care if I get knocked out trying to win." Doing it is different, especially when you're already hurt. And that's why people love him. But I tell you, it was a great performance from Joseph, and he needed to be that good. And I tell you, he needed to be as conditioned as he was, because it was a grueling fight. And if he wasn't fit, he would have folded down the straight, because Derek makes you do that. And I was really impressed by the performance, but very impressed by the conditioning, because you know he's obviously worked very hard, because it was a grueling fight. And you know, it's a big win for him, because you need to win well, and you need to win in exciting fashion. And I thought it was good to see some spite from Joseph Parker, letting his hands go with bad intentions, because I feel like he hasn't had the confidence in the ring. And tonight we saw a different kind of Joseph Parker throwing with bad intentions. But Howard Foster actually was ready to jump in, and he turned to him during the exchange and said, "Don't you dare." You know what I mean?
And then he opened up.
Yeah, but it was like every time he looked like he was going to get stopped, he let 5 or 6 go. So I felt at one side, I said to Dave Caldwell, "Did you think about pulling him out?" Because after the third knockdown, I thought he may have a word with him. But it's very difficult to have that conversation with Derek, to be honest with you. I'd like to see him fight in New Zealand or Australia. You know, I mean, there's so many fights he could have. You know, you've got Hergovich in the final eliminator, tough fight, but gives you the key to the world title on a big split with the IBF. You've got Andy Ruiz rematch. You've got Deontay Wilder. You know, Dillian White after, you know, he knocks out Tyson Fury. You know, and we'll have to see. I think he's in a great position, because it's one thing winning, but it's winning well in exciting fights. That's the difference. So Joseph Parker won tonight and makes people want to watch him again.
Joe, can I get your reaction to the scorecards? Because 2 are very close. So if you took 1 or 2 of the knockdowns away, Derek might have nipped you on points.
I knew after the fight that I won, but the judges, that's their job. I'm not sure. What was the scores?
Well, I mean, 117, 111, 116, 112, 114, 112.
No, well, 115, 111, 115, 10, and 114, 12.
I mean, 114, 112 was a...
Is that even possible when with 3 knockdowns to draw?
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea, but I think...
My views about the officials are well canvassed over the last few years, but it's just disappointing.
But it was the thing about the officials is we couldn't have New Zealand or Australian judge come here because of the mandatory hotel and everything when you return, and the lottery to get back into the country. So we could have got a European judge, or but we said no. The British Boxing Board, they are the best. They're the best, and so we trust them. And listen.
Yeah, we could have claimed breach of contract, but instead we thought no, we'll give the benefit of the doubt, as Andy said.
And what would your message be to Derek now? Obviously, I had a conversation with Dave after the fight, and he can't really say anything in terms of all these retirement talks. Really, Derek, you know, he's a fan favourite.
Yeah, it's early, too early. I mean, the first thing he said to me was, "Well, in the ring, did you enjoy that?" Yeah. That was one thing. And then when I saw him out there, he said, "Can I go again in the spring?" I mean, he doesn't know anything else. The problem is he's not regressing. So he had a good camp. He's not getting hurt in sparring. You know, you can't say his punch resistance has gone, because he went 12 rounds, took the kitchen sink, and he's getting beat by elite heavyweights. So on one hand, I understand the argument to say you're 36, you're taking punishment, you've got money, you've had great nights, enough's enough. But on the other hand, I also understand the fact that he loves to fight, he feels like he's fighting well. And if you're not an elite heavyweight, he will beat you. No question about it. He's a nightmare to fight, isn't he? I mean, he just...
Well, what about, like, even though he lost, his reputation grew.
He did, but he's gonna...
Why don't you give him nice 4 or 5 fights where he's not an underdog?
Yeah, because he doesn't really... The problem is as well, he wants those big nights, do you know what I mean? He's like, and the problem is...
The stickers that...
Yeah.
Always disrespect the day of price, no?
Yeah. But he beats those guys, you know, but he wants... And every time, if you look at his 11 defeats, you know, he's lost twice to Joseph Parker, twice to Dillian White, twice to Tyson Fury. That's 6 defeats from 3 fights. He got robbed against Helenius in Finland, probably should have got the decision against Pulev. You know, bad performance against Kabayel, lost to Alexander Usyk, Vitaly Klitschko. I mean, like I'm saying, if you're not an elite heavyweight, he will beat you. And if he didn't perform like that tonight, and if he wasn't as fit as he was, he would have got beat tonight. That's why you've got to be on the top of your game to beat him.
From New Zealand.
Staying here.
You're here? Okay.
Can't get home. We can't get back home.
Right, okay. Until further notice.
You need to win an MIQ lottery, so you've got a chance of 1 in 10 every few weeks or whatever. So we stuck up here till the government regulations change.
Well, then that's good for us because then we've got you for longer.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
But unfortunately, you've got Higgins as well.
Fuck.